guys, so today's video is going to be an updated foundation and brow routine. I haven't done one in a while because really it hasn't changed up all that much, but I do have a lot of people on a regular basis ask me how I get my foundation to stay on my face all day long and how I get my foundation to just look flawless. So this is kind of the way I've been doing it. It works for me. I don't really like changing things when I find something that works for me, so I've been doing this kind of routine and technique for quite a few years now. Pretty much all of my subscribers know I am obsessed with Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay All Day Foundation. I just think that this is the absolute perfect foundation for everyone, and it stays on all day long. Like, how can you complain? Like, I don't know, I feel like if I'm putting makeup on my face, I want it to stay all day. I don't want to just put makeup on for like 4 or 5 hours and then take it off. That's not how I do my makeup. My makeup is on all day long, so this foundation right here is like, I'm not kidding, it could probably be on for 24 hours and it would still look really, really good. But usually I have my makeup on for about 15 hours a day, sometimes a little longer, and I always still look perfect. Not trying to like toot my own horn or anything, but it has to do with this foundation. I'm not kidding. I talk about this foundation a lot. I know, it's really annoying, but it's amazing. But in this video, I did not use this foundation because I filmed really, really late today and I don't need my makeup to be on all day long like I usually do. So I actually used my Dior Skin Forever foundation. This is a pretty long wear foundation as well. It doesn't wear as long as the Estee Lauder. Probably about, I want to say 12-hour wear out of this one. So I actually started doing my makeup around 12 o'clock today, this afternoon, because I was up really late last night, so I kind of slept in a little bit. So yeah, you're gonna see I had like really bad bags under my eyes because I really need more sleep, but that's okay. But yeah, that's why I used this foundation today, but normally on a regular basis it's always Estee Lauder. So these are just my two go-to foundations depending on what kind of wear I'm going for. This is going to be a talk through tutorial, so I will be telling you guys what I'm using and why I'm using it and how I'm using it, if that makes sense. I have like a lot of difficulty explaining why I do things and the techniques that I use, so in the video I apologize if I sound like a total idiot, but I'm not used to really like sitting and like explaining like why I'm doing a certain thing, or I don't know. I found myself to be really like weird sounding. So yeah, if I sound a little strange or if I seem like I'm not making a whole lot of sense, I apologize. I was trying really hard today. Not to mention I was half asleep since I was up really late last night. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing how I get my makeup to stay on my face all day long looking flawless and gorgeous, just continue watching. Okay, so to start, you just want to make sure that you have nice, clean skin, and I always go in with this every single morning now. It has just become a staple in my foundation routine. I absolutely have to have it. It's the Urban Decay Hot Springs Hydrating Gel. I just take like a generous amount and dab it all over my face and then rub it in. I'm looking very baggy today because I was up really, really late last night, so my face is really tired. But once that's all rubbed in, just let it dry for a second. This stuff dries super quick, so you don't have to wait like an extensive amount of time before going in with primer and foundation. Next thing I'm going to go in with is my Milk Makeup Blur Stick. I absolutely love this. I don't know, I didn't really think I was going to like it when I bought it, but I have become obsessed with this. This is like so good. And I'm just going for a very matte kind of foundation look today, but if I ever wanted like a more dewy, luminous kind of foundation look, I would just use like a luminous primer. So this I just take and rub all over my face. On my nose, I notice that my makeup definitely adheres to my nose better and doesn't break up as soon as it would if I didn't use this. And of course, because I have like all these lines on my forehead, and especially this one. I can't do anything about that one, unfortunately. It's just there. So once I have it rubbed on my face, I just take my fingers and kind of like blur it out a little bit more. I'm going to be going in with my Dior Skin Forever foundation today, only because I'm not really going to be wearing my makeup that long. It's already almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so obviously I don't need like a super long wear foundation today, but I am going to be showing you the same techniques that I would use if I was using my Estee Lauder for an extremely long wear foundation. So I always just take a little bit on my concealer brush or whatever this is. I think it's an old concealer brush. As you can see, it's beat up. I'm gonna, like, you know, swatch it all over my face. And then I'm gonna go in with a damp beauty blender, or this is my Real Techniques beauty sponge. I absolutely love this. And I just pat it all over the face. Motions are like key for using a beauty sponge or beauty blender. It just evenly disperses the makeup and it really makes you look like you have a flawless face. I don't know how many compliments I get on the regular basis, like, oh my god, your skin is so flawless, and it's like, it's not really my skin, it's just the technique that I use for applying my foundation. But hey, that's fine. Like, see here, I don't know, I think I'm having an issue with a new bronzer I'm testing out, because I am like breaking out central over here. I don't know, it could be because it was warm this week too, but this is looking crazy. Foundation and my Estee Lauder, if I were using that, it just covers all this up and just makes my skin look really nice. These are pretty medium to full coverage and they're buildable, so if you ever needed a little more coverage, you can definitely add more. Get around your nose, really good. Chin line is like an issue with me, so this is why I don't really like testing out a lot of foundations, because when they don't wear like my Estee Lauder or like the Dior one, that becomes an issue and it looks cakey and disgusting, especially my forehead. My hairline looks really, really pink right now because I did put my Overtone Deep Conditioner in my hair this morning, and it dyes, like I said in my empties video, it kind of like dyes your scalp, but it will wash away. Add just a little bit more on the forehead. Really take it into your hairline so that everything blends nicely and it doesn't look like you just caked your face up with foundation. I always do my neck. Some people don't. I think that's really tacky if you don't do your neck, because like obviously you're going to be able to see the difference between your face and your neck. So I always just take some foundation down my neck. I'm like looking at my face and that's really bad. I didn't really notice that until today, and I'm noticing it starting over here too. I haven't switched up my contouring products. The only thing I did, you know, was trying out new was bronzers. I've never had that happen before, so now I'm kind of wondering if it's that new bronzer. Okay, now that the foundation's on, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Age Rewind Brightening Concealer. It's just that little fuzzy topped one, and I just dot it in a triangle underneath my eye. This is just to brighten, especially because I didn't get like any sleep last night. I was up really late. But I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. This one is in just light sand right now. I think I need to get a different color, but I'm trying to use this one. And I just swipe over that a little bit. A bit of this goes a really long way, so I always like try to wipe off the excess in the tube. And then I'm just gonna be taking, it's dirty, sorry, I did wash it yesterday morning and then I used it, but it is pretty clean still. But this is just the L'Oreal Concealer Beauty Sponge. I absolutely love this. I need to get another one. But I just go and the same patting motions under the eye, and I take it outward towards the temple and down the side of the nose. Whatever is left on it, I'll just take down the bridge of my nose and up on my forehead for a little highlighting. Always on the chin. You don't have to do your chin, but I do. I just feel like this also makes the foundation really stick and not get cakey throughout the day. And it's also like a highlighting point on your face anyhow, where the sun would naturally hit. And whatever's left over, I just take up onto the eye, up to the brow bone. Just lightly, nothing crazy. This isn't even technically necessary because I am going to be going in to prime my eyes anyway before I do my eyeshadow, so. In this little lid here, I just have some Laura Mercier translucent powder mixed with RCMA No Color Show powder. The No Color Show or No Color powder, whatever. You get the idea. So, and then I use my Laura Mercier poof. I take quite a bit on this little poof here. And then you want to go in under your eye and remove any creasing. And immediately go in and start baking. And now I know baking is becoming like a thing of the past, but this is how I get my foundation to stay on my face all day without getting like crappy looking and cakey and dewy. I bake every single day. Same thing with the other side. Take this out towards the temple as well. Center of the forehead and the chin. Really want to get around your nose so that that doesn't break up. And I just leave this on my face until pretty much I'm almost done with my makeup altogether, because I really want it to bake. Okay, so now moving on to the brows. We all know I hate my brows. If you've been a long-time subscriber of mine, you've heard the story about my brows. They're terrible. I absolutely hate them. I really want to try that microblading, but I don't have that kind of money. So we're just going to stick with the Anastasia Brow Wiz for right now. So I just go in and comb them through. So I just take the crayon end and I always start from the inner corner on the bottom of the brow and just start lightly creating the shape that I'm going for. My brows look different almost every single day. I like when I have good brow days, but they don't happen very often. Really hate filming my brows because it seems like when I have to film them, they look terrible. Just bring like the tail down a little bit further than where my actual hair stops. Do the same thing on the other side. People ask me like how long it takes me to do my makeup and like what part of my makeup takes the longest. I always tell them my brows. I hate doing my brows. They take the absolute longest. And now I just look straight ahead to see if they're even or not, and obviously I gotta go in and do some work with this one. So this is why it takes me so long. I always like raise this brow for some stupid reason. I always like do stupid faces where I raise this one, so they always look uneven, and I'm like, stop raising that brow. It's like just such a habit. So sometimes I'll have this brow like up, not even realizing it, and then when I rest my face, I'm like, oh my god, they're so uneven. This is another little like trick so you can see like where your arch should be. I don't usually do this regularly because I do this quite often, like to the point where I know how I want my brows, but you just take like a pencil or a brush or something and go from the very edge of your nose and just see. Yeah, you get the idea. I don't even know if I'm explaining that very well. Okay, now I'm going to start on the top. Now the top, I don't go all the way to the inside. I used to do that and they just look really boxy, so I don't do that anymore. But I just go from not totally the middle, but almost the middle of the front. Does that make sense? The middle of the front. What? I stop. And now rest this brow, Brittany. Stop raising it. This is the part where I always mess up because I'm like, no, down, down. Once I have those done, I start to the curve around the arch area. Meet down at the tail. Step back and see how they're looking. This is like the part that freaks everyone out when I do my makeup. They're like, oh my god, what is she doing to her face? Because it's kind of freaky looking, isn't it? But I like the shape, so now I'm going to go in with the brow pomade to make like the little hair strokes in the front to make it look a little more natural. This is the Anastasia pomade. This is obviously in auburn too. All of my stuff is in auburn except one pencil that's in blonde, but I'll show you that after. And then this is just the Anastasia brow brush. I absolutely love this because it's really, really thin and perfect for making the little brush strokes. But I just go in and really coat the brush and then I kind of like wipe it all off almost. So it's coated right now, and then I just take like a towel and then wipe one side, wipe the other. And then you've got like that really precise little line. And then what I do is just start at the bottom and I make just little flicks upwards. Then I start to go downwards for the front. All like depending on how your brow hairs go, you just want to kind of follow the growth. Does that make sense? And then you can always brush out any extra so that it doesn't look too cakey in the front. Same thing with the other side. So that's pretty much all I do for the front, and now I just really go in and make sure that it's not too dark. And you really want to kind of like blend that line, the top line in. Just kind of like scratch at it a little bit to make it kind of blend. With the bottom, just blend it a little bit more. Okay. Once that's done, now I go in with my NYX blonde eye pencil, but this is just strictly for like the outer part of the brow, just to like kind of coat the little hairs a little bit. I just take like an angled brow brush. This one's rather huge. I mean, you can always use a smaller one, but I like this one for some wacky reason. This is a Morphe brush. Sorry, I don't mean to be promoting Morphe, but I do use like all their brushes. I like them. But I know there's a lot of controversy on them right now, so I don't really want to talk about them, but this is a Morphe one. And then I just take this Makeup Geek shadow in Frap, and I just kind of like dot it in there, and this is just for the front of my brows for a little bit of color. Kind of just like dabbing and then swiping towards the bottom to blend into the rest of the brow. Okay, that's all I use that color for. Because now I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia brow powders in Auburn, obviously. And I take the lighter shade, which you can see I use it quite a bit. I'm just going to start on the bottom and then the top, kind of like outlining it almost, but I stop at the arch and then I just kind of like go and fill in the inner, blending it with the front just a smidge. Top, and then just filling in the inner. Now I'm going to go in with a darker shade. This is for the tail of the brow. Same sort of idea, bottom, then top, then fill in. That part. Now I go in with concealer. I've just been using this one because I'm trying to use it up, but this is just the Urban Decay Weightless Concealer. I just take the wand and then another just little like angled brush. This is just an e.l.f. brush, and then I take some of the product on the angled brush, and now I'm going to go and carve out underneath my brows to make them really sharp looking. This just really cleans up any extra product that might have fallen down underneath, and it cleans up the line really nice. My voice is cracking, sorry. You make your tail look really nice and sharp as well. Look to see if you want to kind of like reshape the bottom of either of them. If you ever were to like mess up with the concealer and accidentally go too far up, just take the brush that you use the pomade with, because this is a really nice stiff brush, and then I just go and kind of like sweep it away. I do this quite often. See why this takes me like forever? Once that's done, I just take that concealer brush I put the foundation on with, and I just kind of like drag this down and blend it. Now that's done. This is where I really take like a hard look just to make sure that they are perfect. And I kind of feel like since I had to clean this one up a little bit, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of powder and just like carve that out a little bit better right above where I use the concealer, because you don't want to go and rub it on the concealer. That looks a little better. That was going to bug me. Now, my brows look extremely bold right now. I don't go and brush through them until the very, very end of my makeup, and then I set them with brow gel. So I will be back after I do my eyeshadow, and I will show you how I finish them off and finish my face. Okay, so I finished my eye makeup, so I thought I would show you guys how I do my mascara since I've never really done it on camera. I am going to be using the new L'Oreal Lash Paradise because this has just become my favorite right now. I'm obsessed with it. So what I do is I just take like a little handheld mirror. It doesn't have to be this big or anything. It can be smaller, but I hold it like down here at an angle. I have my mascara ready, so I look down when I do my mascara. So you're not going to be able to see the mirror and what I'm looking at, but you'll see like how I apply it. We do like a wink every swipe. The outer corners, and then I work my way in. The other eye, only instead of going like this on the other eye, I kind of like reverse my hand this way. I let the top ones dry, but I am gonna go in with my MAC Giga Black Lash for the bottom lashes and for the bottom ones, I kind of look like this, so I can really get underneath. Sorry if you guys see my mirror, I apologize. I just kind of go like this, like a rubbing motion. I don't swipe down, I go sideways. Just let them both dry, and then I go in with 2 coats or 3 depending on how crazy lashy I want to be looking. So probably for the top I'll just do 2 coats. The bottom I usually do 3 because I like them really intense. So far I did do just 2 coats on the top, and there is about 3 on the bottom. I think I might go in with 1 more coat on the lashes. I haven't quite decided yet. I don't know. But we're going to go in and brush away all of the baking powder. It's now been on my face for like over 40 minutes, I think. Go in with a big face fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with my MARC powder foundation and just really coat the brush, and then pretty much all around the face and the neck, just kind of like setting the foundation. Don't try to go in the inner because that's where we kind of did like the highlighting and the baking, so you don't want to go and make that dark because that's like the focal point of the face. Now I'm just going to go in with some bronzer. I am going to be using my new Becca bronzer. This one is in Bali Sands, and a Real Techniques face fluffy brush. I'm saying things backwards today. It's a fluffy face brush. I don't know why I'm saying it backwards, but so I just kind of like go from the hairline down to where like I would do my contour. Hairline, and then just down the neck, just lightly on the neck, not too crazy. Now I'm going to go in and contour just a little bit with my Locket palette, using the medium contour shade on another like smaller face brush, and right from like the top of the ear into the hairline, and lightly bringing it down, circular up and down motions. I don't want to come too far in. Then I just take it into the hairline on the temples, blending it together, and then whatever's left I just drag it up into the hairline on the forehead. Same thing on the other side. You want to really make sure that this is blending out nicely, because you don't want like a really noticeable bronzer or contour, because you'll look like you have a dirty face almost. So anyway, with the same brush, I just wipe it off on a towel. I'm going to go in with the light contour shade in the palette, this one here, and then just kind of carving out my jawline, but not really. Like, I don't want it too carved out because I don't really have like a cinched face, obviously. So I just kind of lightly circular motions under the chin and on the jawline. And then I go in with that other face brush and just really buff it. Kind of dragging it down. And now taking just like a little e.l.f. brush and the same light contour color, I'm just going to give my nose a little bit of a shadow. I don't really like try to make my nose look thinner or anything like that. I just like to have a shadow on the sides of my nose so that it kind of goes with the rest of my face, if that makes sense. You want to make it meet your brow. Now, obviously there are way better videos on nose contouring. My contour on my nose is not really for contouring. It's just a little bit of a shadow. And then I take another e.l.f. fluffy brush and really buff it. And then not taking any more product, but if there's anything left on the brush, I just bring it under the lip a little bit to create a little bit of a shadow there so that it looks like my bottom lip is a little fuller, because I have extremely thin lips, obviously. And now is when I go in with blush. I think I'm going to go in with this one here. It's another MARC product. This is their Mauve Forward Blush. It actually goes with the eyeshadows I use. So just on the apples, and I kind of like flick it back. These are extremely pigmented, so you don't need to like put too much, because then you'll overdo it. And then I just take that fluffy brush and just pat over it just in case any of it looked too crazy intense, just to kind of diffuse it out. Now I'm just going to line my waterline with my NYX Treasure Lay Black Liner. You could use any liner for this. It does not have to be a black liner, but I like black liner. I'm just a sucker for it. I've used it since I was 12, so. Okay, so unfortunately my battery died while I was in the middle of doing my waterline, but I did line those and I even tight lined them, which means you just take the black liner and line up underneath where your lashes are. It's not necessary, you don't have to do it, but it does give the illusion that you have like really, really full lashes. So now that that's done, I am gonna go ahead and take the yellow highlight shade on another Real Techniques brush, and I just dot this underneath the eye to make it look a little bit brighter, because, you know, bright under eye area is, yes, it's life. It's necessary. And then I just take whatever is left on the brush and then just like carve out carve out my contour. I've got the highlight on the brain, obviously. That's it for that. And I am going to use a new highlighting palette that I haven't gotten to use yet. This is the Sleek palette, the Solstice one. So I'm gonna just mix the two highlighting shades right here on a fan brush. Start to highlight my cheekbone. Oh wow, holy crap, I don't know if that's a little too intense. Shit. I'm not really one to go for like crazy intense highlights, so I don't know. I just want to keep it like on the very, very tops of the cheekbones, and then I always bring it in and over my brow, if that makes any sense. I am like really shitty at explaining why I do things that I do. If y'all have not noticed, I apologize. And then whatever is left, I'm just gonna dust it on the chin, the very top of my nose, and just in the very center of the forehead, and on the bridge just a little bit, not too much. And then with my finger, I'm just gonna take the more neutrally kind of highlight, I guess, and just lightly go over my cupid's bow. Okay, not on the lip, Brittany. So that's that. Now let's just finish off the brows really quick. Going back in with my Anastasia brow brush, I'm just using the spoolie end, and I'm really just brushing them out so that the powders don't look so crazy intense and they look a little more natural. Just a little tip, if you were to ever go like a little too crazy on the inner of your brow and they're a little too dark and just really not looking too natural, just take that brush that you use, like the yellow highlight or any other powder, and just really like go on the sides of your brows to make them look a little more highlighted on the inner. Does that make sense? Probably not. And now I'm just going to take my NYX Control Freak gel brow gel, brow gel. Yep, we're having a day. And just, yeah. Alright, Brittany is like done filming, I think. Jesus criminy, we're having a day. Just put that all over the brows so that they stay in place all day. And this brow gel, I'm sorry, but it is way better than all those more expensive ones. This, I've never had a problem with. It's like even waterproof. Like when I'm in the shower trying to take my makeup off, I really have to like scrub at my brows to get the stuff off. So this is amazing. And lastly, I'm just going to set my face so that I know it's going to stay all day. I am going to be using my Kat Von D Locket setting spray. I absolutely love this. I can't prove that it's actually doing something, but I really feel like this helps my makeup stay flawless even longer than all of my other setting sprays. I don't know. I can't prove it, but I feel like it does do that. So I am going to be using this one, but I have been testing out the Milani Make It Last one, and I have to say it is amazing as well. The only thing is I'm not a fan of the sprayer too much. It feels really wet, so that's why I'm going to be using the Kat Von D one. I think whenever I finish this Kat Von D one, I might pour this one in this bottle so that I can have the really fine mist. I don't know yet. Then I just take that mirror, try not to whack myself in the face, and I fan it off. I'm not gonna lie, I've whacked myself in the face many times with this thing. Like, it's like I can't tell the distance between my face and the mirror, and just boom. But yeah, so that is how I do my face every single day, besides the eye makeup. Obviously, that changes all the time. I have to say, this is probably the best brow job I've ever been able to do on camera. I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, that is how I get my makeup to stay on all day. The baking is key, and I know that a lot of people have kind of like veered away from baking, like it's the thing of the past and everything, but I have just gotten so used to it, and I know that it works for me, and I'm a creature of habit, so I continue to do it because I know that it really keeps my makeup on my face all day. I absolutely love the techniques I use. I've been using them for years. Like, I barely ever change up my routine because I'm like, I know this works. I'm not changing. I was shocked how well my eyebrows came out today, because normally when I film my eyebrows, they always look terrible. Like, I just don't know how to film eyebrows. I just don't. So I was kind of proud of myself today because they actually looked halfway decent. Also, this eye look here, I did film, so if you're interested in seeing it, I'm not sure when the video is going to be up, if it'll be up before this one or after this one, but just check my channel and I will link it down below when it is up so you guys can check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, just leave it down below for me. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Please subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.